Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you all. I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life stories with Asperger's syndrome and the like, along with tips and advice along the way, be it your general health versus your mental health, as well as some other bits in between, hopefully, and sameness. So if you're new to my channel, as said, I welcome you all, and if you want to be joining me on the bandwagon to know what I get up to, hopefully with my schedule, Monday to Friday is where I'm at. So if you would like to subscribe and be part of it, feel free to do so on the bottom of the right hand corner of the screen, and while you're down there, turn on the notification bell so you can keep up to date. So I'm going to bring out some series right now that is based on autism and employment still, because obviously at this point of time there has been so many talk about in the group about some of us autistics that usually are the target of being bullying. So this one's going to be about bullying in the workplace. This one, very first one especially, is going to be the introduction, and I'm going to cover it in this video, hopefully, the myths of bullying, or just one form of myth, two common but ineffective strategies that may work to, when you're encountering with being bullied in the workplace, and maybe the three reasons why people with Asperger's syndrome or autism are the victims, and what to do if you are getting bullied, hopefully, maybe in my third part of the series. But like I said, this is going to be, hopefully, they break it down into maybe 2 or 3 parts after this introduction. Don't know as of yet, but if you're into these and you want to know more, feel free to share these videos around and stay tuned for more. As we know, basically, that once in a while, not just us autistics on the spectrum obviously do get bullied. Everyone in general, one day in their life, will be encountered it, be it in the workplace, for example, as I'm sharing today, or example wise, another one would be in schools. To me, bullying is all about, having the rightful power for that bully. Even if we are the target, they tend to just really want to have the full-on power and the control of everything that they can, be it the holding hostage of that target to point where it can cause more harm than good. As we know, though, when it comes to trying to control everything in our power, regardless what it is, in our everyday life, even if things ain't working right for the way we want it, sometimes it can go the opposite way. Some will say that, some things that will need to be let go of, regardless what it may be, of our everyday life, be it, if we're having troubles at home, like maybe a divorce is on its way with our parents, versus basically you've come from a home that has been, you've been abused as a child, or what have you, or you've witnessed your parents, taunting each other, and you feel that, this is the way to go, that you feel that you should be doing this as well. But abusing people, regardless what shape or form it is, be it verbal, physical, whatever, is not fun at all to me. Anyway, as I know it, because I've experienced bullying versus, domestic violence and everything else along the way, which basically, as I said, it needs to be just get away from. But sometimes we got to look at it, because the way we're treated in the past or present, however, doesn't mean we should actually allow it to continue in our lives. We have the power ourselves if we choose to override this situation somehow, but sometimes some of us do struggle with this sort of thing. For me, abusing anyone in any form, physical, verbal, mental, isn't fun to watch, especially if you're on the sideline just watching, thinking, what can you do to actually, help this victim that is getting bullied, whatever it is. And it's not very fun to see that victim going through this pain and suffering through this bully that's, going through all that torment and pain and taunts just to allow that bully to get away with it. Yeah, the victim who's getting bullied does have a choice, like I said, like anyone else, to rise up against the bully, or to keep them at it with that willpower just to keep continuing the way they are going. I have shared basically a video based on, rising above the bullies, which I'll link in the iBar above me right now, as well as in the description box if you want to watch more to this, because this is like a friendly tips on how to go about it, and that will cover for you so that you can get into gear with what I'm sharing with you all today, hopefully. So now, bullying myth. Okay, as we know, it's done outright just to me, it's overt name calling, regardless what it is. Hearsay. Even though bullying can be really subtle, regardless what it may be, hearsay in our everyday real life situations that we may face, regardless what it may be. You know, it can be form of manipulation, it can be form of just lowering our self-esteem, just name calling and whatever else. In the adult life though, it's a really sophisticated way for it to lead to social isolation, manipulation, as I just said before, just being a form of control, regardless what it may be, controlling our thoughts, controlling our actions, controlling what to wear, what have you, ruining our reputation, however, as well, passive aggressiveness, criticism, eroding our very self-esteem. So many of us Aspies are known, autistics are known to be, you know, some of us real bubbly and really happy most of the time, and that we tend to just, you know, mind our damn business regardless what it may be. Hearsay. Of all these characteristics that I have shared are used to control a person and trapping that victim to believe that at the end of the day that they are powerless in any given down situation. Again, I can't say it enough, bullying is all about basically power and finding a target to target someone of the vulnerable or whoever it may be. So you may be wondering what makes a bully, you know. Sometimes it's all about engaging in or tolerate this behavior. They like the person or the target or not like the target. So bully versus victim. So the victim could turn into a, you know, target bully if they choose to. Hearsay, even though I don't want to use the word victim all the time. If it has to be a kind word, I'll use as target. Another reason to it could be due to the liking of the person. They could be jealous and insecure, seeing that the person is happy and at rest and whatever with that person. When we lie to someone, they're likely to respect us and saying no to what we don't accept. You know, and that's probably another reason to why we are trying to stand up against the bully, saying this is not good enough, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Okay, Another part of this I want to share with you all with this introduction is the 2 common effective strategies. Some may help, some may not help, so bear with me from what I've learned based on my experiences being bullied in schools. I have had not many, you know, bullying going on through like a working environment, because obviously most of the environment I've been in, they've been really supportive and whatnot, regardless of who and what I am, even though they know I work differently and they were trying to accept the differences, and we're trying to come together and actually, you know, gel somewhere and meet up to the everyday situation. So number 1 is maybe you could try it and more walk away from the situation or from that bully, even though it's really easy said than done, because obviously, you know, some of us autistics just really want to, you know, mouth off and actually say how we feel sometimes, even though sometimes we at a vulnerable stage, regardless of our low self-esteem and everything else, we tend to question the why me, why are they targeting me, what have I done to deserve this, you know, what could I do to actually help the bully in any way if they were struggling in their own personal life or what have you. Easier said than done, yes, but if we choose to do this one, it's obviously giving us more of a say, enough is enough, and making us make that stand, saying that we've had enough, we don't wish to, you know, be bullied anymore or what have you. Even though, as I said in one of my videos about the dear bullies, you know, which I'll link in the description below too if you want to know more of what I'm sharing here too. Number 2 is maybe a formal complaint and mediation. Basically, if you've got one in the workplace, put in place of mediation. Sometimes this can be not always a good idea, but sometimes it can be. Sometimes if you want to try and hopefully remove the problem quick, smart, then you could be able to. This will involve you, the bully, and maybe a person as a mediator to try and listen into any of the problems that is arising between you and the bully. Or also maybe sometimes many people may do some complaints as well behind the scenes about what's going down if they have witnessed it. So hopefully in saying this, that it will help to resolve any issues between you and the bully and form some form of agreement, even though sometimes, as we know, bullies like to push our boundaries to the extent of no return, and sometimes in saying this that they just push and push and push and push until we just let off and cave off, even though many of us autistics just mind our business, sit quietly and just get on with our work. Even though in saying this, though, it has been proven, sometimes it's not effective, but it proves that the bully has the power, authority to do what they want when they want. So therefore we should not be able to choose to accept that behaviours that they're doing towards us. I'm going to add more into the next part to the reasons why people like me that are on the spectrum are, like, you know, targets for bullying. But for now, I'll just, you know, pick out the 3 that I've got for this brief introduction, and I'll apologise in advance if it's going to sound, you know, repetitive in the next maybe few series when you hear it, but it needs to be clearly addressed in my being, because as I said, this is where I stand for. So number 1, we're already standing out in the crowd, obviously. We're sticking out like a sore thumb, and we may seem odd and stand out because of the way of our quirks, our personality, and whatever else. And obviously, in saying this, when we're already standing out to be that target for the bully, we're obviously likely to lead that path of being that easy target. Number 2, sometimes we can easily be targeted by, you know, the bullies by just being alone, and that we're socially awkward, or just due to our traits in general, we can't seem to, you know, socialize or communicate or whatever it may be. Even though every autistic is different, how of their traits and qualities and whatever else. And number 3 is low self-esteem, such as maybe social failings in the past, you know, of whatever happened to us. Sometimes we can't become too needy, you know, too annoying to some point. Also, another reason in saying this that leads us to becoming really vulnerable, and then we tend to, again, self-doubt our capabilities of what we can and can't do and whatnot. That leads to those questions about, you know, as I mentioned earlier, why am I the target? Why are they picking on me? Why me? What can I do to help them? So on and so forth. So the last bit of it is, what can we do, basically, if we are being targeted in, you know, a workplace setting of the bullies and stuff? Building a strong network around us, be it, you know, online versus basically maybe just finding someone in the workplace that we can trust and just talk to them basically about, you know, how we feel and whatever it may be. Just having a bit of a in-depth connection with that person, you know, be it in that social network realm versus, you know, in the workplace. Yes, it is hard for some of us autistics because we sometimes can be so trustworthy to the point that we'll just open up straight away to people, and that's probably the reason why it's, again, despite our quirks and everything else, that's one thing. Even though we know trust is an important building foundation for anything, be it friendships, relationships and stuff, to build up onto that communication basis and whatnot of what we need to do regardless of it all. And sometimes in saying this, that we need to talk to someone in our time of needs so that we can hopefully believe that this is the way we deserve to be treated, you know, not in the bullying sense sort of thing. I'm trying to excuse that bullying factor for that moment. Sometimes another one, what we can do if we're brave enough, for some of us autistics, is number 2, is standing up to the bully by asking what's their problem is, you know, challenging them in some ways, probably can cause a negative effect, who knows. But as I said earlier in the piece, there will be rising above the bullies and tips and advice on how you can go about this and whatnot. So yeah, this quickly ends a real quick shortcoming of my video of the introduction of autism in the workplace, of the, you know, bullying in the workplace. Smash the like button if you like this, comment below, feel free to share these videos around, and don't forget below if you want to, you know, how do you overcome bullying in the workplace if you are a worker and you are autistic? You know, give us some tips maybe along the way if you want to, just to start up a discussion. You know, even though we we know that it makes us feel just disgusting and whatnot. So enough with the do, guys. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on my social media sites. As said before, if you would like to subscribe to my channel as being part of my fan base, as a form of support, as I said, trying to do this on the weekly, Monday to Friday. If not, it should be shortened down to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, depending on my schedule, obviously, because of some other things I want to share with you all sometime real soon too, leading up before my important date today. So enough with the do, guys. Share these around to family and friends, because I believe that there'll be someone out there that needs to hear this, regardless on the autism spectrum or not, so that you can gain a better understanding. So enough with the do, guys. Thanks for support. Thanks for watching. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing out, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now.